Hello, it's Joe Kleins. In this video, we are going to finish up, at least for now. This is the seventh video in this series where we're practicing logging into websites. I'm going to log into Reddit, and um, as I've said in the other videos, the first one was we're logging into Facebook, and I went over that with Hellbent and really talked through the nitty-gritty of how you decide what you want to do. Each video along these, I've been slowly doing less and less explaining and just kind of cranking it out. And so this video, I'm going to continue that trend and just basically get it done. So I need to first, let's see, I'll start off with my Twitter script. In the sense I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to save this as Reddit. And now, first, of course, I need to connect with the existing IE window instead of I don't want to create a new one. So I'm gonna launch. This just launches my script writer. And so here I'm going to get the pointer to the current IE window, and this bottom part's the function call, but we don't need to be seeing that. We need to use it, which is up here on line 4, right? And just to verify, I like to do this real quick. I'm going to launch that and run it. There we go. We can see it's getting the Twitter URL. And of course, we wouldn't necessarily be on this page, but if we are, we want to leverage that. So I'm going to do some logic here and say, if bracket does not equal this, then I'm going to navigate to it. And so the navigate, because I'm going to navigate and have a page load wait, so I'm going to put in the brackets because it's more than one line. And so page navigation, navigate to page, and I'll go back and fix the URL in a second, and wait for page to load. And here I'm going to borrow this right here. There we go. And basically what this says is, hey, go get a handle to the IE window, check if the location is this URL. If it's not this URL, navigate to that URL, and then this is a while loop here where it's just going to loop over and over and over until this is either it says while it's busy or it's not 4 and 4 is done. So either it's busy or it's not done. It'll keep iterating over and over and over until it's finally done, because we wouldn't want to try to submit our entries, the username and password, until it's finished loading. And so now that we got that going, let's I need my WB2 learner tool. I'm going to drag this in here. And here, look, so the name and ID both are populated. Input name, and that's the name here. So you see how this says user? That's a user. ID down here somewhere is going to say user login. So see the ID is user login, right? So, and which one was that? That was the, yeah. Whoa, hey. So user. So since IDs are my go-to if they're there, right? So I'm going to do this pointer. Oops, sorry. Set on page. Set unique ID. There's an underscore but not a dash, so I can use this one. And I can just pop that bad boy in there. And I believe that's an account I have on here. And then I'm going to set on page. You know, I didn't, sorry, I should have checked this. I'm assuming, yep, password login. So I can duplicate this, pump that in there, and I'm not going to actually log in. I'm just going to fake it. So I'm going to just put in this as a placeholder for what will go here. And let's go ahead and click this checkbox, right? So good. So the ID, it does have an ID, and that's a checkbox. So I can say set on page, checkboxes. And here we want it checked, so it's going to make it a 1. And what I can do is borrow this. I'm going to put that here, and then I'm going to get this remember ID or whatever that's abbreviated to. Now that should check that box for me. And then lastly,
sorry, I don't know that one.
Yeah, great. Alexa is no, stop. Sorry, I have a Amazon Echo, and it keyed off my words for some reason. Anyway, so I'm going to click in the login, And oh, great. So there's no name, there's no ID. Let's see, we have a type. Oh, good, there's class. And so this is the class name that we'll use. Now, and just to explain here, so this says class, right? But it's when we actually call the method, we're going to use set and class name array. So see how here it says class name, and here it says class. That is actually the same. The other ones where you say it'll say like um, ID or name, and it matches up. But class name, I think because class is this couldn't just be class because that's a keyword in JavaScript, I believe, which is why they had to use class name instead. Anyway, so we can go ahead and take this whole thing, and we're going to put that in there, and we're going to assume it's the first one. Even though it's an array of a list of items, typically those are unique, and especially with given all these things. It's each one of these where there's a space. So this is a class name, this one's a class name, and this is a class name. But having all of those together, I bet nothing else in this page is going to have all three of those. And so that's why we're pretty safe we'll be unique. And here, we don't want to set a value. We're going to click it. Let's see. I think we're good. I'm going to save this, reload it. And when I run it, with any luck, it's going to populate this, click this, hit login, and hopefully give us a warning because it's not the correct login. There it goes. It looks like it hit the submit. We saw the little thing spin. And then I see an error over here. I don't know why it's... Oh, you know what? That's interesting. The fact that that's here, I wonder if it... I think it clicked that. Let's... So how would we check that, right? I'm going to borrow from this. I'm going to come up here just because I don't want to do the rest of it. And I'm going to say dot... Oops. Dot... So what I'm doing here... So there are two. So I was wrong. There are two on the page that are like this, and I'm pretty sure it's this one, right? What you do is if you're accessing the array, it's like this, right? And this would be the first item, and this would be the second item because it's 0 indexed. And here we would put back in the click thing. But when you want to know the length of it, you can put it in like I did there, and it'll tell you how many there are. So let's change this down to the second item, which is 1 because it's 0 based. I'm going to reload, and let's go ahead and clear this out. We know these things populated because they were blank before, right? So reload. You know what? Let me make sure. Yeah, saved it, reloaded it, launched it. It looks like it went through. I don't know. That is a weird. You must enter text with 20 or fewer characters. Okay, that's weird. I can't believe that's true. Let's try it. I mean, why would they do that? I'll use my actual Reddit. That's one of them, I think. There. So did you see that? So I have no... That's bizarre to me that they actually have that limitation on there. But it clicked it and it said, hey, there's a problem here, right? Incorrect password, right? So the clicking actually worked. And that's it for logging into Reddit. Thank you.